Gartner have now said it's up to 80% of the buyer's journey for B2B businesses are completed before they're even raising their hand with an organisation.
Yeah.
And at that stage, there's very little influence left for a sales rep, so to speak. So, the more you can influence in those earlier stages. And I think buyer-led conversions for us is around our experience on the websites over the last decade and the conversations we've had with buyers. And we're up to, the scale blows my mind. I don't think I'd actually looked at these stats last time we were talking, but we have had getting close to 3 million conversations now. We've delivered well over 300,000 leads and over $5 billion in pipeline. And with that, there is some insight that you gain. We were talking earlier about actually there's a difference between knowing statistics and having some education versus actually living in the trenches and the experience that the real world brings. And where we've ended, and we're using this language of buyer-led journeys, we've been doing something for almost the entire decade, which has made us successful, that we didn't really have a name for or a framework for or understand it. And there's 12 components to what we do. But in a nutshell, what it is, we let the buyer lead the journey. We let the buyer lead the conversation at their pace, anonymously. There's a whole, like I said, a list of 12 pieces to the framework to get it right. But in a nutshell, it really is the buyer that's leading the conversion, not the other way around. And the results are ridiculously phenomenal. I struggle with a credibility perspective because when you're talking to people and say, we actually quadrupled the conversion rate for our last customer, I don't believe it. And in fact, I could bring up an email right now that I got last week where it says, 4 times, that's where you lost me. Impossible.